Hi there. Have you ever noticed that some things are hard for you, but you can't fully explain why? Maybe asking for help feels uncomfortable. Maybe saying I love you feels awkward even when you mean it. Maybe you struggle to rest without feeling guilty. Maybe you find yourself shutting down whenever something hurts you or someone hurts you. Maybe you always say I'm fine even when you aren't. And the reality is that it might not just be your personality, but it's part of what you inherited emotionally. Welcome to Streams of Emotions. My name is Moses. You can call me Mo for short, and I'm really glad you are here with me again. In our last episode, we learned that emotions don't just live in your mind, but they also live in your body. And when you ignore such emotions, it can even make you sick. In this episode 8, we're going to look at the emotions you inherited. Yes, when you talk about inheritance, we basically think of physical assets or a name or a house or a talent or a family trait or a blood group. Yes, all those things can be inherited. But sometimes you also inherit an emotional life, an emotional pattern, an emotional way of going by things. For example, the way a family handles pain, the way love is expressed or not expressed, the way people deal with conflict, the way people express fear, silence, anger, guilt, the way people handle their emotional life, we can inherit them as well. And let me give you a typical example. Sometimes some people find it very hard to ask for help. It's not because they are proud or it's not because they don't want to involve others in their matters, but it's because they grew up in an environment where asking for help was seen as a weakness or simply help wasn't available. And so they have learned to handle things by themselves. They don't burden other people. They don't want to burden other people. That's their perception because of the environment. And they try to figure things out by themselves. And usually, what they say to themselves is okay. I know others are available by this. Okay, I will manage it. I will do it myself. This is because, once again, of the environment possibly they grew up with. You see, some also struggle to express their love. They care deeply about people. They are loyal. They show up. They provide. They do all these love centered things, but it's difficult for them to say, I love you, or it's difficult for them to hug others first, or it's difficult for them to open up emotionally to others because it feels unnatural to them. This is often all because of the environment they grew up. Because in the environment where they grew up, possibly love was not really expressed. It was shown through food, responsibilities, sacrifice, paying school fees, fixing things, staying committed, and not through words or softness or through affection. And those things can gradually affect their emotional life. So as adults, they love deeply, but they still find it difficult to express it in ways others can understand. All these that we learn during our childhood days or our younger days, they are sometimes called what modeling. And it's because others we learn from people's behavior, especially our environment, our parents, or the people we stayed with when we were young. So if someone grows up in an environment where they talk about their feelings and they don't hide it, they express themselves when they are upset, they express themselves when they are happy, the person try to internalize and adapt to that kind of emotional expression. However, if you grow in a tense home where you learn to be quiet, don't express your feelings, your emotions were neglected, and we tell you don't cry, even when you laugh you are criticized and all those kind of things, it's unconsciously shuts your ability to love or to receive love as well. And the reason I'm bringing this is because most of us may find ourselves in this and it end up not in a dramatic way in our life, but more present in our day-to-day engagement. So eventually you will find it hard to receive compliment or find it uncomfortable when someone says something kind to you. So if there are some people, when you say something kind about them, they are expecting you to say a negative word again because that is what they have grown up to see, that whenever people talk about kind, something good about them, it means they are pointing to the bad. Some people also apologize a lot because that is the environment. You shouldn't err people in any way. You can't commit any mistake. You should be perfect. So that is the kind of emotional upbringing they have. Some are also always responsible for everyone's mood. When anyone is upset, anyone is moody, they feel they are responsible for that. Some struggle to say no. And just as I mentioned, some people struggle to even rest just because that is the environment they grew up with. You see, let me tell you something that may relate and may be your reality as well. So there is someone that is called Thomas, and Thomas is a very dependable person. He helps everyone at work. People rely on him in his family. He's the one who shows up in church. He volunteers among friends. He's a strong one. But Thomas has a quiet struggle and he never asks for help. So when life gets heavy on him, he disappears a little. He gets tired in silence. He tries to do things in silence. He carries the pressure alone. Even when people ask if he's okay, he says, I'm good, I'm fine. Don't worry about me, everything will be okay. Not because he doesn't want support, but because of his emotional history. He have learned that being vulnerable to others is not safe at all. And because when he was growing up, he saw adults carrying their pains silently. No one really spoke about their emotional need, and to the best of his knowledge, strength in his home meant enduring and not sharing. Possibly your situation is like Thomas. You see, the environment we grew up influence how we express our emotions a lot. And sometimes these things, the lessons we pick from how those around us express their emotions, they don't just disappear, but they gradually become part of our life as adults. So they follow up in our friendships, in our marriage life, in our parenting, in our leadership, in our faith works, and all those kind of things. That is why, as you become an adult, it's important to learn about this and know the kind of emotional pattern you are also building for your children, for your friends, and those around you. And this is very important. Understanding about inherited emotion is not about blaming our parents or our friends. No, not at all. But it's about recognizing our current emotional state. Because many people gave what they had at that time. So they loved in the only way they knew it was best. Many people were also carrying emotions that they inherited from others. It's not about pointing fingers. That's not what I'm saying. It's about breaking the cycle gently and gradually. So it's about saying that this has been normal in my environment and this is what I grew up to know. But I don't want to remain in this normal. I want to break the cycle and live a better life. It's about that recognition, knowing that no, you need to do something better. You need to improve. You have recognized what was wrong and you want to improve. So, how does healing looks like? Healing looks like trying to make effort. If you struggle to ask for help, make effort to ask for small help even when it feels uncomfortable. Healing also looks like practicing words like I'm hurt, I need a moment, I appreciate you, I love you, I can't do this alone. Like being expressing your emotional state gradually. That is how healing looks like. It looks like pausing and asking, is this reaction coming from this moment or something older? And please hear this. Healing doesn't mean that you become a completely different person overnight. No, it will take a gradual steps. I mean, being more aware of your emotions and being more honest and choosing to express your emotion and gradually getting better over time. So, in all, what we have learned is this. Many of our emotional habits, such as struggling to ask for help, difficulties in expressing love, the guilt we have when we rest, and the perceptions such as being soft or unpleasantness when we have in terms of being vulnerable, may all come from the environment we grew up in, not just our personality. And this pattern are often learned through what we saw and experienced in our families or those who were around us when we were growing up. And in order to be healed from those patterns, we must first begin to recognize them and choose better ways to express our emotions or be ready to break that cycle, break that emotional cycle. Next time on the streams of emotions, we'll look at how emotions shape the world you see. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, learn about your emotions, listen to them, and use them productively instead of allowing them to manipulate you. Have a wonderful time.